for the first 3 seconds or so, you're still suspended between worlds. The place where you were just gliding over giant cities made of cheese, or running from your elementary school teacher who somehow had the face of your dentist. Then suddenly, everything vanishes, as if someone pressed a delete button. You grab your phone, desperately trying to recall it, but there's nothing left. Just a faint emotional echo, a feeling that something important just happened, yet you can't grasp any of it. The craziest part? This scenario repeats itself night after night. So today, we're going to uncover a mystery that has fascinated humanity for thousands of years. Why can't we remember our dreams? And more importantly, what is actually happening inside your brain during those unconscious hours? Here's a small spoiler. Your brain isn't being lazy. It's doing something far stranger and far more intentional than you might imagine.
To truly understand this question, we first need to understand how dreams work. Every night, your sleep is divided into several cycles, each lasting roughly 90 minutes. These cycles include light sleep, deep sleep, and then the stage we're most interested in, REM sleep. REM stands for rapid eye movement. That's right, your eyes are constantly moving beneath your eyelids, as if you're watching an intense tennis match, even though you're completely unconscious. A slightly creepy thought, isn't it? It is during REM sleep that the most vivid, intense, and bizarre dreams occur. During a full night's sleep, you'll typically go through 4 to 6 REM cycles. The first one may last only about 10 minutes, but as the night progresses, each REM period becomes longer. By the final cycle, just before waking up, you may spend nearly an hour in REM sleep.
In other words, by the time your alarm clock rings, you've theoretically been dreaming for a very long time, long enough to experience the equivalent of an entire surreal movie. Your brain has been producing massive Hollywood-level productions every night since the day you were born, yet you remember almost none of them. So, what's going on? This is where things become fascinating, and perhaps a little unsettling, depending on how you feel about your brain having plans of its own. The first thing you need to understand is that memory formation is not automatic. Just because something happens to you doesn't mean your brain will carefully store it for future retrieval. Memory is an active process that requires specific neurochemical conditions to function properly. And during REM sleep, those conditions are intentionally switched off. Specifically, we're talking about a neurotransmitter called norepinephrine, also known as noradrenaline.
During the day, this chemical constantly circulates through your brain. It plays a role in attention, alertness, and most importantly, memory consolidation. It helps your brain stamp experiences with a label that says, "This is important, remember it." But during REM sleep, the production of norepinephrine nearly comes to a halt. Your brain almost completely stops producing it. That means the memory encoding system, the mechanism responsible for telling your brain to store what's happening, is essentially disabled. Your brain is running a spectacular movie without a recording device. Why would evolution design things this way? That's a fantastic question, and scientists have proposed several intriguing theories. One theory suggests that REM sleep is the brain's dedicated time for processing emotions and memories from the day. But in order to do that effectively, it needs to replay those experiences without causing you to relive the emotional pain attached to them. By immersing your sleeping mind in emotionally charged scenarios, while simultaneously turning off the chemicals responsible for forming new memories, the brain allows you to experience events without permanently storing new memories of them. Imagine it like a fire drill. The drill happens, you experience it, but you don't need to remember every tiny detail. You only need to absorb the essential lesson. That may be exactly what your dreaming brain is doing every night. It's remarkable.
Although, from a user experience perspective, it's admittedly a little frustrating. But wait, things get even more complicated. Norepinephrine isn't the only factor working against your ability to remember dreams. Let's talk about acetylcholine. During REM sleep, this neurotransmitter floods the brain at extremely high levels.
Acetylcholine is associated with hallucination-like experiences, associative thinking, and the strange, non-linear logic that makes dreams feel as though they were written by someone who has never heard of cause and effect. High acetylcholine, low norepinephrine. Imagination explodes while memory formation collapses. Your brain is operating in its most creative state imaginable, and simultaneously in its worst possible state for remembering any of it. If your brain were a person, it would be the most fascinating, visionary, and entertaining guest at the party. But it would also be the person who has no idea how they got there and can't remember a single conversation afterward. And there's yet another layer to this story. The hippocampus, the brain region most closely associated with forming new memories, is relatively quiet during certain stages of sleep.
Meanwhile, the prefrontal cortex, the area responsible for logic, self-awareness, and the ability to think, "I should remember this," is significantly less active during REM sleep. So now we have a memory-forming system that's underperforming, a rational supervisor that's off duty, and a creative chaos machine running at full power. This is the perfect storm for creating unforgettable experiences that are forgotten almost instantly. Now we arrive at perhaps the most interesting question of all. What separates people who remember their dreams from those who wake up to complete emptiness? You've probably met these people, or perhaps you're one of them. They're the ones who wake up and immediately launch into a detailed 15-minute retelling of a dream, complete with plot twists, emotional arcs, and vivid details. Meanwhile, you're sitting there wondering whether you even dreamed at all. Is it a talent? A superpower? Or are they simply more spiritually sensitive? No.
The answer mostly comes down to timing and the conditions under which they wake up. The crucial point is this: the window for recalling a dream is incredibly short, often only a few seconds to a few minutes after waking. During that brief period, if the brain is given the right conditions, it can capture fragments of the dream and transfer them into conscious, accessible memory before they disappear completely. But if you immediately check your phone, jump out of bed, start thinking about your schedule, or are jolted awake by a blaring alarm clock, that window slams shut almost instantly. Shifting your attention to the waking world is often enough to erase everything. People who regularly remember their dreams tend to do something interesting. They wake up slowly and remain still. They don't immediately interact with external stimuli. Instead, they give their brains a few quiet moments to reinforce whatever dream imagery remains.
In that half-awake state, they carefully piece together the fragments. It's similar to trying to remember where you left your keys. If you panicked and search everywhere, you're less likely to find them than if you stop and calmly retrace your steps. Dreams are like a sandcastle at the edge of the tide. You only have a brief moment to admire it before the wave comes in and washes it away. If you're staring at your phone notifications, you'll miss the sandcastle entirely. Sleep cycles also play an enormously important role. The amount of REM sleep you get, and when it occurs, has a major impact on dream recall. Remember how we said REM periods become longer later in the night? That means if you sleep 7 or 8 hours, your final REM cycle will be the longest, most vivid, and most dream-rich of the night. And because it happens immediately before waking, it's also the most likely to be remembered. But this is where modern life works against us. Most people are chronically sleep-deprived.
And when you're sleep-deprived, you're more likely to cut your sleep short.
which means you're eliminating those long REM periods near the end of the night, the very periods that produce the most memorable dreams. So if you never remember your dreams, one very simple and very real explanation may be that you're not getting enough sleep. You're waking up before the major REM periods even have a chance to fully unfold. Your dreams aren't being erased. They may not have had enough time to happen in the first place. Your brain is trying to start the show, but you've already turned off the theater lights before the performance begins. Alcohol also plays a fascinating and destructive role in all of this. If you've ever had a few drinks before bed and noticed that you slept deeply, yet woke up feeling like you didn't dream at all, that's not your imagination. Alcohol strongly suppresses REM sleep, particularly during the first half of the night. As your body metabolizes alcohol throughout the night, a phenomenon known as REM rebound often occurs during the second half. But by then, the timing is no longer ideal. Sleep quality has already been disrupted, and your brain has spent much of the night dealing with alcohol metabolism. The result is sleep that feels deep, but is actually of lower quality, with far fewer of the vivid dreams associated with healthy REM sleep. This helps explain why the phrase, "I never dream," is so commonly heard from people who regularly drink before bed. Interestingly, when people stop drinking alcohol, they often experience a period of extremely vivid, intense, and sometimes frightening dreams. This is REM rebound in action. The brain is essentially making up for all the REM sleep it missed. Dreams can become so strange and powerful that they catch people completely off guard. Your brain has a backlog of programming waiting to air, and suddenly it's given the opportunity to broadcast everything at once.
We should also address a question that many people wonder about but rarely ask aloud. Do blind people dream? And do people who are born blind experience visual dreams? The answer is genuinely fascinating. People who were born with sight and later lost it often continue to dream visually, at least for a period of time. Over the years, the visual content of their dreams may gradually diminish, but visual dreams can still persist long after sight is lost. However, people who are blind from birth do not experience visual dreams, at least not in the way sighted people do. Instead, their dreams are constructed from other senses: sound, touch, smell, taste, and spatial awareness. They dream using the sensory language through which they experience the world. This reveals something profound about dreams. Dreams are not some universal form of visual imagination. They are built from the specific sensory toolkit your brain has used throughout your waking life. They are uniquely yours.
In a very real sense, they are made from you. Your brain isn't showing you a movie. It's remixing your entire sensory experience of being alive. So, can you actually train yourself to remember more dreams? Yes, but there are a few important caveats. The first and most effective method is keeping a dream journal. The idea is remarkably simple. Place a notebook or a voice recorder beside your bed. The moment you wake up, before moving, before checking anything, before engaging with the outside world, record whatever fragments you can access. It doesn't matter whether it's only an image, an emotion, or even a single word. Write it down or speak it aloud immediately. Over time, this creates a surprisingly powerful habit loop in the brain. You begin waking up and automatically entering dream recall mode, rather than instantly switching into daily life mode. The more you practice, the better you become at capturing those fragile fragments before they disappear. Your brain essentially learns that this information is worth retrieving. Many people report significant improvements in dream recall within just 1 or 2 weeks of consistent journaling. The second method involves changing the way you wake up. Specifically, use a gentle, gradual alarm instead of a loud, aggressive one. Sudden awakenings trigger an immediate stress response that can effectively wipe out any remaining dream content. A softer alarm provides a smoother transition between sleep and wakefulness, helping preserve that precious memory window. Some people even experiment with multiple alarms. For example, a very gentle alarm 30 minutes before their actual wake-up time, followed later by a normal alarm. Briefly waking during the final REM period, remaining still, and then drifting back into light sleep can sometimes produce unusually strong dream recall when the second alarm sounds. The third method is simple. Sleep more.
It may not sound exciting, but prioritizing a full 8 hours of sleep ensures that you're not cutting off those long REM cycles near the end of the night. And those cycles are where the most vivid, detailed, and memorable dreams tend to occur. There is also the phenomenon of lucid dreaming, which represents an extreme form of dream awareness and recall. Lucid dreaming occurs when you become aware that you're dreaming while still asleep. In this state, many people can intentionally influence the dream's environment, alter the storyline, and later remember the experience with remarkable clarity. Approximately 55% of people report having experienced at least one lucid dream during their lifetime. A smaller percentage, around 23%, experience them regularly. The neuroscience behind lucid dreaming is particularly intriguing. Brain scans of lucid dreamers reveal increased activity in the prefrontal cortex, the very region that is normally suppressed during REM sleep.
The self-aware part of the brain essentially wakes up while the body remains asleep. It's as though the rational supervisor we discussed earlier sneaks back into the theater midway through the movie and whispers, "Wait a second, this is a dream." The techniques used to induce lucid dream, D, mnemonic induction of lucid dreams, and YLD, wake-initiated lucid dreaming, are genuine techniques that many people use in an attempt to increase lucid dreaming frequency, with varying degrees of success. After all, the brain doesn't always appreciate being told what to do. So let's step back and look at the bigger picture, because there is something strangely beautiful hidden within all of this. Every night, your brain constructs an entire world of experience, scenarios, emotions, characters, sensations, all assembled from the raw materials of memories, fears, desires, unresolved thoughts, and perhaps even a fair amount of meaningless random noise. It does this within a neurochemical state specifically designed to maximize creativity while minimizing the restrictions imposed by rational thought. And then, in most cases, it quietly erases nearly all evidence that any of it ever happened. Why? We still don't know for certain, but our best current understanding suggests that forgetting dreams is not a flaw, it's a feature. The brain processes information. Emotions are digested, patterns are integrated, lessons are extracted, and the specific content is released. You don't need to remember every detail of the fire drill. You only need to go through it. The fact that we occasionally catch fragments, a vivid image, a lingering emotion, a strange scene that stays with us long after the story itself has faded, may simply be evidence that the system isn't perfectly airtight. A few frames remain. A few echoes survive. And perhaps that's enough. Because in a strange way, the question, "Why can't you remember your dreams?" already contains its own answer. You can't remember them for the same reason the process works so effectively. Your brain knows exactly what it's doing, even when, from your perspective, it appears to be complete chaos. You simply weren't invited to that particular meeting. So the next time you wake up with that intensely frustrating feeling that something is just beyond your reach, that dream you almost held on to, that world that felt completely real only moments ago, remember this.
Your brain built it every single night. It creates entire worlds for you. It runs them, learns from them, experiments within them, and then quietly cleans everything up before morning arrives. Forgetting isn't a failure. It's your brain functioning exactly as intended. Of course, knowing that doesn't make it any less frustrating, but at least now you know why.
Let me know in the comments. Do you regularly remember your dreams, or do you wake up every morning to complete emptiness? I'm genuinely curious to find out whether dream rememberers or dream forgetters make up the majority here.